The reason why all of us here get together in one room, representative from different religious and cultural background, to talk about our difficulty and hopefully to overcome our communication difficulty, which is cross-cultural communication difficulty, and improve it. So we actually try to bridge the communication between all of us.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you all. I am the president of the Islamic Society of Darwin.
I am Ubenyawarat, resident at International Buddhist Center in Kenya.
Now, from the father, they get their dreaming, they get their dance, and they get their country.
I'm here because I think that we have a lot of cultural communication issues in Australia.
I'm here to give my personal perspective and experiences of what it's like to be a Singaporean Malay.
In this great country, Australia, we've seen that so many different races come from all over the different world, that we come across with the issue of especially communication problem.
A search for understanding, and I thought I could contribute.
I think this is a good forum because it's a person-to-person kind of scenario where we're trying to express who we are and I suppose what our differences are, but also what we can share. And I sort of think that in an environment like this where, as I said, it is person to person, it's an honest way of communicating. So, and I think it's a good place to start.
Especially like English second language background people like myself. So that's why we need kind of seminar to accommodate the bridging of the communication itself. So
I think the purpose of the multicultural seminars, like this cross-cultural seminar, is an amazing thing to bring different people together, because we have people from different representatives from different religion, different races, different languages, and they're all in Darwin, Northern Territory. So this is something really new, and it's amazingly new to me as well, even though I come from a multicultural background. So I guess it is something like, it is similar and yet it's so different, and the whole environment is really different, so it's really cool.
In 35 years of being up here, I have once been asked to give a lecture at this university. Mm-hmm. Part of it, I think, is because I'm white, and therefore I'm not acceptable to a lot of people as a spokesperson for Aboriginal people. Yeah, well, for certain Aboriginal people, like my clan and family. Yeah.
Is that somewhat of a frustration at times?
Well, it's, in many respects, it's wrong, because what it does, what it can do and does in the case of my family, is deny them a voice. It's like once the Ombudsman's office approached me and asked me if I would be on their board, and then somebody came up to me and said, oh, well, we didn't really want you, we want your relatives. My relatives are semi-traditional people, and they said, no, we don't want to be on a board, we can't speak the way those people speak. You go and represent us.
The children born, both male and female, get their skin, their relationship from their mother. And it's, as well as a relationship to other people, it carries with it a deep appreciation of who they really are. They'll refer to it as it's their pulse, it's their heartbeat. It tells a Tiwi person who they are.
The whole raft of education and economic issues that need to be dealt with in terms of getting Indigenous people engaged with some sort of community development processes that lead to some economic outcomes for their communities. We still have a situation where the vast bulk of employment that is available in remote communities is taken up by whitefellas, as they would call them out there. We have to build that capacity. I know lots of great Aboriginal people at places like Elko, where I've spent a fair bit of time working, who've got lots of capabilities, but they're never given the opportunity. That's part of the problem, I think, is we don't have a solution in place at the moment that is actually building a future out of this. It's still really basic problems, and the solutions we've got are too simple.
I suppose are willing to explore sort of a different perspective, and I find that really interesting, being able to, instead of trying to explore what you think defines you in your cultural context, to explore what you could be outside of your cultural context.
And I always think that the biggest enemy among us is our own ignorance about other cultures. And the best solution or the best battle is to get together and discuss about our differences. And we will always be amazed to know that our differences are not as big as they seem from our own boxes or homes or offices, whatever you call it. So I think this is a great step to get us all together and discuss our differences and see how similar actually we are. And this will help not only a local community, but the city, the country, the region, in fact the whole world. And I wish to see many of such seminars being organized at a much bigger level where people can get together